I'm here with the wonderful
Tammy Aken.
All right, Tammy, what is your story?
So after my husband's mother passed away, that night we were sleeping, dead asleep in the middle of the night, and our electric toothbrush started going off. Pretty sure it was her.
You think she was trying to tell you to brush your teeth?
I think maybe. Yeah.
No.
So it's kind of spooky. So when my son Charlie was 3, we were in the car and he was saying, "Mom, I can unbuckle myself." And I said, "Well, don't do that because you can get into a car accident." So I was taking him out of his car seat and he said, "I know, that's how my sister Kyle died." So it kind of threw me off because he doesn't have a sister Kyle. And I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" And he said, "Well, I was in a car accident with my sister Kyle and my grandpa, who was really, really old." And I said, "Okay." I just didn't think anything of it, but was kind of freaking out about it. And then I said, "Well, what happened to you when you were in the car accident?" And he said, "Oh, I just had owies on my face, and then I woke up in your tummy." So then I was, of course, kind of freaking out a little bit. And then I was telling my friend Michelle, and Michelle said, "Well, was there anything wrong with him when he was born?" And I said, "Yes, when he was born, he had like little sores or like pustules, like whiteheads all over his face and his chest. And the doctors didn't know what it was. They had to put him in isolation, and they did cultures to see what it was, and it wasn't anything. The doctor had just asked if there was if I'd had any trauma during the pregnancy, if I was sick, because the things on his face were due to trauma. So it's kind of freaky.
Yeah. I'm here with Joseline.
Nathan.
Ethan.
And what are your guys' spooky stories?
Okay, at my old grandparents' house, when they were like renovating, under the porch, they found like witchcraft and like voodoo stuff. She's experienced like seeing like one of our family members in a room and then seeing them like somewhere else. And I think she heard like voices. And then my oldest brother, he had like an imaginary friend. But
Boom. So my story takes place in last year in the winter when there was like a bunch of snow, right? There was a bunch of snow. It was the middle of winter and it was really late out. It was with me and my friend Pablo Gomez.
Oh my God.
So I was with him, right? And it was like midnight, right? And we were like, "Hey, like what's the move? What's the move?" And we're like, "Bet. You know what? Like let's go to Stone State. If y'all don't know what that is, that's the state park." In the middle of the night, right? And it was in the middle of winter too. So we were like, "Hey, let's just go to Stone State." So we went up there, right? It was like really hard to get in there because like it was just like a thick like sheet of ice, right? And we get out of the car, right? The park is technically closed, but right. So we walk up there. It was like snow up to like our mid shin, right? We were just climbing up that hill. It took us like 45 minutes to get up that hill. Right, and then we get to the outlook. Me and Pablo are really like scenic people, right? We like looking out. We like just like looking off into nothing. And so we go up there, and Stone State has like an outlook once you reach the top of the hill. And we just sat down, right? And then I thought it would be funny to mess with them. So I get up, right? I'm like, get up. I'm like, "Bro, did you hear that?" Keep in mind, it's like the middle of the night. I'm like, "Did you hear that? The rustling in the bushes." And he was like, "Bro, don't play like that. Don't play like that." He's like, "Let's just chill." So sat down. Not even a minute later, he does the same thing. He gets up. He's like, "Bro, I'm so serious. Did you hear that?" And I was like, "Bro, I just got you with that. Like, you're not gonna get me with that." He's like, "No, I'm being so serious." He said, "Let's go." Like I could like feel that he was being serious. He said, "Let's go, let's go." So I get up, right? I'm like, "Okay, like what's the deal, right?" I get up. And that's when I hear it too. It was like some like blood curdling like scream from the middle of the woods, bro. It was a genuine I'm not lying. And if you ask him, he's gonna tell the same story because it was just a scream that we hear from the middle of the woods. It wasn't an animal. I know it was not an animal, but it did not sound human. I swear on my life. But so we get up and we book it. It took us 45 minutes to run up that hill or to walk up that hill. It took us a minute and a half to get down. And when we parked on the sheet of ice. And it was like a horror movie. We were like slipping and sliding all over. I couldn't unlock my car. And yeah, we made it out there. We made it out alive.
No, thank you.
When I was like 11 years old, I lived in my grandma's like haunted house, kind of.
It's not haunted.
It was. And like every single night, only in that house when I would sleep there, I would get sleep paralysis almost every night. And it would be worse in some rooms, but when I slept in her downstairs like area, I had this like shadowy like 8-foot figure staring at me, like watching me sleep, and I can't breathe. I can only look around, and I start like, I don't know if you've experienced sleep paralysis before, but I get terrified when I have it. Like my heart rate goes insane. So that like demon guy freaked me out really bad. And then when I slept in the room that's downstairs, which is, I consider that one more freaky because it's like really run down, but when I slept there, I got the same figure like towering over me, like watching me sleep over the bed. And then it put its hand over me and said, go back to sleep. And it put its hand over my eyes, and I went to sleep instantly. And when I woke up in the morning, I had to ask all my family if that was them, because I didn't know who it was.
It was me. What?
Perfect. Your brother's been through all that, and yours was a slippery stick.
I know.
What is your name and what is your scary story?
Martin the Third, and it's not really scary, it's just sad, but I can see the future in my dreams. When I was a child, I was like 7 years old. I had a dream multiple years in a row of me going to a Halloween party and like my aunt and uncle breaking up. That was real, and it did happen. I went to that Halloween party, and it played out exactly like how the dream played out in my head. And I can see the future, and ever since I've had multiple dreams like that where I was a child, and now stuff is coming true in my real life now. It's taken a long time for them to come true, but it happens, it works.
I am here with,
Mrs. Swanson.
and can you tell us your story?
Well, when I was in high school, we went out to Lottie's grave in Homer quite a bit. And after we had gone there for a while, the thought was that, you know, she killed teenagers when they went out there and hung them in the trees, but in the graveyard. And then after that, I continually had dreams about Lottie hanging me by my toes by a tree, and my toenails would fall off.
That is crazy stuff.
Hush, guys, relax.
We got you.